right, let's take a look at another game. This is going on Saturday. You got the Chiefs playing the Cardinals down in Arizona. Some line movement here from 2.5 on the home team up to 3 now. Low total here of 36. In fact, over 80% of the wagers are on the home team. Maybe that's what some of the bettors are looking at early on here. And here you have a teams with established coaches, and they're established at winning too. You get Andy Reid off a 9-7 straight up 10-6 ATS campaign. He really doesn't have anything to prove with his track record, and neither does Arizona really with Bruce Arians. The last 2 years, 10-6 straight up, 10-5-1 against the spread, and then last season another winning campaign, 11-6 straight up in ATS, and that was despite losing a couple of quarterbacks. So I look at this game, Jim, and I wonder, boy, is this going to be a 3-2 kind of final with all the defense out playing the offenses here?
Well, that is always possible. Andy Reid is not really a guy that plays preseason games that seriously. He didn't in Philadelphia that much. He doesn't here. And Arians, the little bit of time he's been a head coach, 5-2-1 ATS and in the preseason, and 6-2 to the under. So I'd say that under probably is a given as a play. I like the quarterback rotation for Kansas City better than I do for Arizona. Now, how much are they going to play? How much is Alex Smith and is going to be out there, and Carson Palmer? You certainly don't want to get, especially with Palmer with the injury history and everything, and he lost half the season last year. I know there's a lot of people out there that think that Arizona's overrated, and I think the guy to my left, you're right probably, thinks that. But when you look at what they were doing last year before they had to go to Stanton and before they had to go to Ryan Lindley, they were looking pretty darn good. And they have a decent defense. The running game isn't so bad. And the head coach has done a great job when he has been a head coach, substituting up in the Colts with the Colts, and now since he's in Arizona. So I'm not sure if they're overrated yet. We'll have to wait till we get to the field. But as far as this game is concerned, I think probably the best play in the game is the under.
Well, this Arizona team was a 500 team on the road last year, Dave, but 7-1 straight up at home. Is that the way to look at this game?
Well, it's interesting that the odds makers, they're not stupid. Okay, they're pretty smart guys. I know a lot of them, and they might look dumb, but they're not. Okay?
Which ones?
Are you talking about anybody specific?
Well, all of them. Because they're all my friends, and to me, I look worse than any of them. Okay, trust me. It's a good thing I get the shades on. One of the things we see here is, why did this line open 3? They know where the money. See, when the odds makers know where the money's going to be on every game. They don't know. They're not making a prediction on the result. I think most people that are watching this know that the betting line is not a prediction. Cracks me up when we hear the talking heads on TV who say, "Well, Vegas has them 16-point favorite." It doesn't mean anything. But they do know where the money's going to come from, as far as the public's concerned. They know it on every game. That's never a surprise to the odds makers. These are not guys that just came in off the street and started hanging numbers. And it was really curious to me. It actually opened lower than 2.5. I think it opened 1 was the very first number I saw in this game. And that to me was an immediate red flag on Arizona. It's like, wait a minute. Arizona's the team that, if you watch the NFL Network or you watch ESPN, when I'm talking about handicappers here, we're talking about the talking heads, the ex-players, not really analyst type guys, but guys who know all the players and stuff like that, but they're not really analysts, and they're horrible at picking games. And Arizona is the sexy pick this year. They're the sexy pick. They're going to. 49ers suck. Arizona, look how well they played last year, and then Palmer got hurt, and they kind of fell down the stretch. From a metric standpoint, they weren't ever that good last year, and they were kind of doing it with mirrors before Palmer got hurt, and then after Palmer got hurt, see you later. So you have a couple of things here. First of all, on the win total, I bet the under immediately on the Cardinals. It wasn't even an assessment so much of whether I think Arizona's any good, but the fact that all the talking heads on TV love them, just like they loved the Bears last year, by the way. The Bears, this is the year for the Bears. Yeah, that worked out real well. And you can go back over the years, and it's been the same thing almost every year, where whoever their hot pick is in August ends up sucking. Okay? And then I look at the line of this game, and I go, why the hell did they open this game? They made it they made it so inviting for all these Arizona bettors to go out there and lay a short number. And sure enough, it's going to 3. I wouldn't be shocked if it goes to 3.5, although I'm not predicting that'll happen. But to me, the odds makers told me who to bet in this game. And I'm not analyzing it at all. I'm just going to go on what the odds makers told me when they hung that number below 3, and that's to take the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right, and Andy Reid coaching the Chiefs here. He has a losing record in week 1 of preseason, 8 games under 500 overall in preseason. And Jeff, when I look at the Chiefs' mark the last 7 years in preseason, it is beyond belief. 7-23 straight up, 5-23-2 against the spread the last 30 preseason games. Are you afraid to back a team when you see stats like that?
Well, yeah, because it's just this, no matter who the coach is, this team just never interested in the preseason. But then again, as Dave said, I think Arizona's overrated this year. They lost not only did they lose a lot of defense, they lost the defensive coordinator Tom Bowles, who was one of the best defensive coaches in the league. So the last 2 years, though, the game 1 of the preseason, Bruce Arians' team has won by a combined score of 49-0. It's hard to go against that. And also the KC's. Well, after Alex Smith, you have Chase Daniel, Aaron Murray, and Tyler Bray. Chiefs were riddled with injuries last year, suspensions, and their offensive line is going to be a problem this year. They lost Rodney Hudson to Oakland. Also, last year, the Chiefs went the entire season without throwing a touchdown pass to a wide receiver, which I would think is almost impossible.
Amazing.
But
That is impossible.
So,
Yeah.
Fortunately, Travis Kelce, a tight end, had a great season, but still, it's hard. They can only get better there. The defense is solid again. They're second in points allowed, 17.6 points per game. But on this game, it's a tough game because of all these things we've just mentioned. But if I had to take something, I'd go with the under.
All right, well, historically, the Chiefs were involved in a lot of high-scoring games last year. One of them was the opener was 41-39 final. That was a win over Cincinnati. But that's not the way I want to look at this game. First of all, the offensive lines on both of these teams are in flux right now. Reid, over the last week, has been making changes. He's trying to get some balance here on the line, and they're putting in some rookies as well. And the same thing is happening in Arizona. You look what they've done. Their running game was awful last year. They really had to pass all the time despite all those quarterback injuries. They bring in a rookie here in DJ Humphries to the offensive line. He was the 24th overall pick out of Alabama. If you go back 2 years ago, they took Jonathan Cooper out of North Carolina, the 7th overall pick. So that's clearly where their focus is. And they still have a lot of work to do. So I don't see this as being an offensive game, in addition to these backup quarterbacks that just are not going to set the world on fire. And you look at last year, preseason opener, Arizona pitched a shutout with their great defense. And 2 years ago, in the opener, they went to Green Bay and pitched another shutout, 17-0 win. So Arians of Arizona, he's 5-2-1 against the spread in preseason, but he's also 6-2 under the total. That's the way I'm going to look at this game.